Okay. Congressman Paduano, and then Congresswoman Luistro, and then Congressman Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for procedural, I just like once again to inform Colonel Grijaldo that you have all the right now to file a motion for reconsideration the day after this hearing. But I do not believe that you will file because in the first contempt order from this committee to you, you file a certiorari in the Supreme Court. Tama po? But still, baka sabihin mo, question of due process, hindi ka namin binibigyan ng due process dito. That's why I reminded you about your right to file a motion for reconsideration tomorrow in this committee. Now, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to put on record and to point out the statement, the manifestation from Chairman Acop a while ago with regards to the joint statement of the two lawyers that was present during the incident in which Chairman Abante and Chairman Dan Fernandez was present during that meeting with Colonel Grijaldo. Malinaw po dito, Mr. Chairman, na sinasabi nila na hindi totoo yung pinagsasabi ni Colonel Grijaldo doon sa Senado. And let me quote, Mr. Chairman, just the two paragraphs, no? Kasi 5 paragraphs, no? Just the 2 paragraphs, no? To quote, Mr. Chairman, we would like to shed light on the nature of the interactions we observed. The discussions were focused on ensuring clarity and understanding of Colonel Garma's affidavit, particularly regarding any knowledge of Colonel Grijaldo might have about the reward system mentioned in it. At no point did any of the congressman attempt to pressure Mr. Grijaldo into conforming to a predetermined narrative. Throughout the meeting, we can affirm that we did not witness any form of coercion. Again, to repeat, throughout the meeting, we can affirm that we did not witness any form of coercion or undue influence directed toward Mr. Grijaldo. Rowena Garma, Attorney Emerito Kilang, and Attorney Rotsib Kumikad, Mr. Chairman. So ito po, nagpapatoo na nagsinungaling si Colonel Grijaldo doon sa Senado. Now, second, Mr. Chairman, I would like to point out, makita po sa CCTV kanina, na paglabas, nakangiti pa. Well, in fact, alam niyo ba, ang kinamayan niya outside of that room was his classmate. Mista niya po. And supposedly, kung inipit siya, pressure siya, ang the first person that he approached outside of that room, kaklase niya, yung mista niya. Class 97, in the person of Jimmy Fortaleza. Kitang-kita niyo po, nakakamay pa. Nakasmile pa. Nag-uusap pa sila ni Jimmy Fortaleza, former Major Jimmy Fortaleza. Now, again, Mr. Chairman, naawa lang ako dito kay Colonel Grijaldo because he keep on imposing or invoking his right to self-incrimination. You're a graduate of PNP Class 97. Hindi mo palang napagandaan kung alin doon ang pwede mong invoke at hindi invoke nung tinanong ka Chairman Acop, hindi mo masagot. Any specific basis or laws or articles or section. And now, I would like to remind and educate you, Colonel Grijaldo. Under Article 3, Section 17 on our 1987 Constitution, tama po, no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. That's self-incrimination. But I will cite jurisprudence that you cannot use it in your case. Mr. Grijaldo, Supreme Court ruling with regard to Arnold versus Nazareno. Allow me to read, Mr. Chairman, portion of that. The fact that the testimony of a witness may tend to show that he has violated the law is not sufficient. To entitle him to claim the protection of the constitutional provision against self-incrimination, unless he is at the same time liable to prosecution and punishment for such violation. No case has been filed against you, Colonel Grijaldo. That's why in that Arnold versus Tesarino, you cannot invoke such provision of the Constitution, Mr. Grijaldo. Our second jurisprudence, Rosette versus Lim. The privilege against self-incrimination can be claimed. You can claim it only when specific question, incriminatory in character, is actually addressed to the witness. It cannot be claimed at any other time. You cannot claim it unless, sabi nga doon sa Arnold at Tesarino, unless may pending case po or punishment for such violation. Eh, tinanong ka pa kanina, if you want to have a lawyer, ayaw mo, o di. And I hope, Colonel Grijaldo, after this hearing, you ask your counsel. And I do believe that you will file again a certiorari in the Supreme Court. And that's your right. And let us see what will be the position of the Supreme Court with regards to your pleading. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. Congresswoman Luistro, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, my manifestation were covered already by Chairman Carap, so I yield to the Honorable Kit Flores.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luistro. Congressman Flores, you now have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I would like to address some of my questions to our colleagues who are now resource persons. No? I wish I could have addressed it to Colonel Grijaldo. No? I always wish that he would be answering the questions as emphatically as he was making that statement in the Senate. But now he's invoking his right against self-incrimination. Now, Congressman Abante, if your intention was to coerce Colonel Grijaldo, would you have had that meeting with Colonel Grijaldo with other persons present?
If my intention was to
Yes,
coerce,
if your intention was to coerce.
I don't think that we can pursue the meeting because the meeting is supposed to ask him if he would corroborate the statement of Colonel Garma, as Colonel Garma has said.
Yeah, but the question asks for a yes or no, sir. Would you have held that meeting with the lawyers of Colonel Garma present in the same room if your intention was to coerce Colonel Grijaldo?
With the lawyers
Yes.
there? Well, I don't think so.
Yes. Now, if your intention was also to offer him a promotion, would you have held that meeting also with other people present, like the lawyers of Colonel Garma?
No,
So that was not the intention of the meeting, right? Correct?
no, it's not.
How about you, Congressman Dan?
Siyempre naman, kung plano natin na hindi natin makuha yung sagot and we wanted to coerce and harass and i-force yung ating issues sa kanya, of course, ang gagawin ko, eh di kami na lang tatlo. Di ba? Wala nang lawyers. Siya na lang, ako, saka si Abante. Eh kumukuha ka pa ng witness para sa gagawin mong kasalanan.
A lawyer who does not represent the House, does
Yeah.
not represent the committee,
Yes,
does not
of course.
represent any of the parties present, correct?
Exactly. At the same time, kung manghaharas ako, hindi dito. Dadalhin ko siya sa opisina ko. Baka sakali, doon ko pwede ko siyang iharas. And one more thing, yung sinasabi niya na promotion, ako hindi ko nadinig yun, na in-offer ni Congressman Abante. If ever na in-offer yon, hindi naman siya tanga para malaman niya na ang congressman, hindi naman tayo nakakapag-promote. Di ba? Presidente lamang or chief of PNP. Like for example, siya, colonel siya, under yan ang chief PNP. At kung general yan, doon siya dadaan sa CA. Hindi naman siya dadaan sa Congress eh. Di ba? So, basically, medyo may mali sa mga ginawa talaga niya.
Yeah, I ask those questions, Kong, because, I also take offense to the fact na parang the entire committee was parang put in bad light by the statements of Colonel Grijaldo. And I was hoping that he would be at least man enough to answer the questions now.
And we wanted to apologize also sa committee because of what we did, no? And we wanted to ferret out the truth and to have that the betting process to be conducted. Nadamay po yung buong committee. During that time that we were accused by Colonel Grijaldo, I was hurt not because of myself alone. Dahil nga nadama yung ibang chairman at nadamay ang buong committee.
Actually, that was going to be my next question. My next question
Yeah.
would be, do you think that it was inappropriate for you to approach Colonel Grijaldo without other persons present representing Colonel Grijaldo?
Colonel Grijaldo?
Yes. Mm.
Well, to tell you honestly, Mr. Chairman, as what I've said a while ago, na-meet na namin si Colonel Grijaldo together with Colonel Garma. And we were like together for almost how many hours din na nag-uusap-usap. And kumbaga, kampante ka na rin sa kanya. And that's the reason why nung sinabi ni Attorney Victor na si Colonel Grijaldo ang makakapagpatunay ng lahat ng sinabi niya sa affidavit, confident kami. Ako, confident ako. Kasi si Benny, hindi pa siya confident kasi hindi pa na meet si Colonel Garma saka si Colonel Grijaldo. But ako, na-meet ko na. Saka si Chairman Ace. And that's the reason why nung sinabi niyang ganon, I was a little bit disappointed kasi all along, akala ko talagang magkaibigan sila ni Colonel Garma.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, ako medyo naging confident na lang ako when I saw the lawyers of Colonel Garma. Hindi naman namin abogado yun eh. Naging confident na ako sapagkat inaakala ko that the lawyers of Colonel Garma would also become his lawyers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now, can I ask some questions to Director General Villanueva? Sir, my questions, I know we've been through this before, itong sa Dumoy raid, but I just have some clarificatory questions lang po para matapos na po itong issue on with regards to you po. Now, Director General, yung operations niyo sa Dumoy, I know it was 20 years ago, sir, no? Diba? But if you can recall, was it a joint operation with the PNP or just PIDEA alone?
It was a joint operation between PIDEA 11, AGSOT, PACER, the PNP, and Intelligence Division of Police Regional Office 11.
So,
So
several
malaki talaga to,
agencies
sir.
pa.
Malaki to.
Now, in operations with other agencies po, is there a requirement that you are all required to submit a report?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In this particular case, in the Dumoy raid in 2004 ba? 2004? 2005?
2004, December 31,
31.
2004.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Was there a report made on this raid, sir?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Do you have a copy of that report po?
Unfortunately, Mr. Chair, because that was the start of transition between PNP and PIDEA. So, talagang I submitted to the national headquarters all reports.
Okay.
Spot report, progress report, and then other spot reports on the operation against other warehouses, including the case folder of all all people that where we filed the case in court, Mr. Chair. Kompleto po yun, Mr. Chair.
Particular itong Dumoy.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Now, Director General Lasso is not here, but the representatives of PIDEA are present. Sir, do you have a copy of that report?
We have only the spot report, Mr. Chair.
Only the spot report?
Yes, sir.
Has that been submitted to the committee, sir? Wala pa.
I think not yet, sir. But we are willing to submit this, sir.
Can you please submit one to the committee secretary, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, Director General Villanueva, you testified earlier that before the raid, parang you had like 3 months na surveillance sa kay Alan C., correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Alan C. and yung isa pang place
Alex Kim and other personalities like Jed Pilapil and John Pilapil, Mr. Chair.
Jed Pilapil C. is the wife, correct?
Yes, Mr.
So
Chair.
you included her in the surveillance because she was the wife of Alan C.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
You also had surveillance conducted dun sa other place na sinurrender din, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ano ngayon? Anong tawag dun sa place na yun?
In Agdao, where thousands of CPEX, controlled precursors and essential chemicals, were found, and also at Bunawan, where
Bunawan.
the foam factory owned by Alan C., where Jong Pilapil and Alex Kim is working in the Bunawan Polytex, the foam factory.
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember
Mr.
that,
Chair.
sir. Kasi we were, I think, part of when we met, we turning over that facility pa.
Yes, Mr.
Now,
Chair.
you conducted surveillance on the foam factory because it was one of the businesses of Alan C.
We conducted surveillance because we were already tailing Alex Kim. And Alex Kim was frequenting on that Polytex foam factory, Mr. Chair.
So, sinusundan niyo lang.
Talaga sinusundan. Meron na talagang team na naka-assign kila Alex Kim, Jed Pilapil, Jong Pilapil, and Alan C., Mr. Chair.
And if I remember it correctly, parang sa wall na to, sa foam factory na to, may parang tree house dun eh. Parang doon ata naka-station yung mga ahente nyo ata or something.
Yes, Mr. Chair, may kwento po doon. October 31, and then November 1 kinabukasan. Yung kinakandakan namin na survey ng casing, sementeryo yon, Mr. Chair. So talagang doon talaga nakatambay yung mga tao. There were times na pinaglilinis pa sila, sir, ng pansyon ng ibang tao dahil they thought na trabahante yung mga tao. So it was during that time that we were able to get footages, videotape of Alex Kim and Jong Pilapil in the foam factory.
Yung Pilapil is the brother
of
Jed C.
Jed Pilapil, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
And they were included in the surveillance technically because they were part of the circle of Alan C. Correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So meaning Alan C. was related to Jed Pilapil. Jed Pilapil was frequenting the same business of Alan C. And who's the other guy? Ano? Kim?
Alex Kim.
What is his role in this? Ano?
Alex Kim is the operator. Actually, siya talaga yung main chemist doon sa laboratory, Mr. Chair.
Okay, being the chemist, what was he doing in the foam factory, if you know?
Mr. Chair, kasi hindi, during that time, umabot lang doon siya doon sa foam factory, but we still don't have any pieces of evidence na merong anomalya doon sa foam factory. Until when we raided through a search warrant doon sa Bunawan foam factory, that we were able to find a
Air scrubber.
air scrubber.
I remember.
And that air scrubber is for industrial use of manufacture of for the clandestine laboratory operation, manufacture of methamphetamine, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Now, in the raid sa Dumoy mismo, di ba there were 6 Chinese that were killed?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Because from your statement din in the previous hearings, you said na they fought back, no?
Yes,
Some were
Mr.
armed, some were not armed, but in a drug state daw, sabi mo, he was fighting with one of
Yes,
your
Mr.
agents,
Chair.
correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Now, were there only 6 persons there in that Dumoy factory?
Maraming tao doon na naglalabas-pasok, but during the time na nagkanta kami ng raid, anim lang yung taong naandun, Mr. Chair. And all of them were doon sa laboratory mismo, doing their own thing in the
different areas, di ba? Of the
yes,
factory.
in the laboratory itself.
I'm asking this, DG, because of the affidavit of, I think, Las Cañas ba yun? That there were 11 other persons who were arrested in that Dumoy factory. What is your comment to that po?
Yun nga, Mr. Chair, hindi ko nga alam paano pumasok sa kwento to si Las Cañas eh. Kasi, Mr. Chair, hindi ko nakita yung mukha niya eh. Ever since.
But wasn't his unit part of the...
No, Mr. Chair.
Hindi naman.
Hindi ko nakita ang pagmumukha niya si Las Cañas and I don't know him. Hindi ko nga alam kung paano siya pumasok sa kwento.
Now,
Yun, Mr. Chair.
okay, now, in his affidavit kasi, he mentioned na there were 11 other people that were turned over to him ata or something for parang liquidation or something like that. No, and you said that there were no other persons there.
No idea, Mr. Chair.
There were only 6 that were killed.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And there were no other persons arrested or
None in the laboratory, Mr.
none
Chair.
in the laboratory.
Yes.
Now, another question is this. What happened to Alan C?
He was not there.
He was not there.
During the time of the raid, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
he was not there.
Was he also in Bunawan?